Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of Ruthless Aggression Era Podcast. We are getting this back to a consistent schedule here. And tonight, I am joined by the one, the only, making his podcast return here live on Ruthless Aggression Era Podcast. None other than OneWingedAngel.
Oh, yes. Oh, it is prime time, baby. I am back. I'm feeling good. It was a long tax season, but man, I am so ready to be back in the podcast world. So,
And this is the episode
yeah,
that you
I know.
come back to. It's not Survivor Series. It's not Taboo Tuesday. It's not Theme Addict, which I want you to be on all three of those, by the way.
Yes, this is the 5th anniversary of SmackDown, which I cannot believe that this was the 5th anniversary because it makes me feel super old thinking of it being the 5th after we had, the 20th?
Like, the thing with this is that, did this feel like a big show to you?
Not at all.
Very understated to me.
No, it was just a SmackDown.
Yeah, it was just another SmackDown with
they had like Vince was there.
Promos by Hulk Hogan, because why?
But they were pre-taped. They were pre-taped vignettes
with his worn mustache.
Yeah, they were pre-taped vignettes. They weren't even in the ring. So,
and watching they did SmackDown previous, they do kind of market it like they are going to be there, and I guess in a way they were.
Yeah. And throughout the night, they had their little flashbacks, which was cool. Like, I don't know, but of course WWE does it where they cater to what's coming up next. But but yeah, it should have. I don't know. The big, I guess, thing at the time was Big Show hadn't been around, so that was his first match in 5 months.
He had been out since shortly after WrestleMania.
Yeah,
because he ended up getting knee surgery, which I didn't even know about till today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just thought he was like gone, just kind of took a hiatus. But apparently he had knee surgery.
Yep.
So he is back now. And this is more or less one of the lead-in shows for No Mercy. Like, it's not quite the go-home show, but it's the SmackDown right before the go-home show. So they are gearing up for No Mercy on this show.
Yep. And they, they created a few matches out of it, but
so yeah, SmackDown did get a new theme song for its 5th anniversary, which is basically a demo version of Rise Up.
Yep. Which I like Rise Up. I mean, I don't think it's as good as,
it's a hell of a lot better than I Want It All.
Yeah.
That
one was very generic.
Much better speed. I think it fits a wrestling show more than that did.
Yeah. It's not better than Beautiful People, of course, but
no, absolutely not. I mean,
that's the Manson mark in me, but but yes. So actually, when I was, watching this, I was like, oh, great, the network dubbed it over. But I did
that's
more
what
research.
I was thinking too. I thought that they had dubbed it over, and when you said it to me, like, did they? Because I haven't watched that much of mid 2000 SmackDown, but that doesn't seem like something they would have to dub over. Because I think Rise Up was made for SmackDown, if I'm not mistaken.
It was, yes.
Because it's not like The Beautiful People where it was made years prior, and even then that's undubbed. Like, it's not like a pre-existing song. It was this new song meant for that. So it kind of confused me at first. It just started after the 5th anniversary show, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. But, I mean, I guess they were just gearing up and maybe fine-tuning it, but...
I think so. I mean, I think as OSW Review put it one time, Drowning Pool is one of several bands that Jim Johnson had on speed dial.
It's a good theme though. I mean,
Yeah.
the dub version here is not very good, but when I first heard it, I was like, oh, here we go again, because that's one of my biggest gripes on the network is dubbed over music. But
Yeah.
when I heard this and I told you, I was like, man, I can't believe they dubbed over the theme. But I heard, but they still have the Manson one. They have Limp Bizkit. They have all these other ones. I'm like, surely they have Drowning Pool, but you're right. They this was just a demo.
So our first match, at least, well, Vince McMahon welcomes everybody to the show, and then we have what seems to be our opening match. Billy Kidman and Paul London. And Billy Kidman has been undergoing a bit of a character change, a bit of a heel turn.
Yeah.
Because it actually does stem from a real life incident where Kidman concussed Chavo with the Shooting Star Press.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that actually led to them actually banning the move for a while.
The move was banned.
Because it kept injuring people.
Yep. Well, Kidman's was never very fluid, but...
No. It said that Shane McMahon does a better Shooting Star Press than him.
It's really too bad that we never... I mean, this is a total sidebar, but you never got to see the real Brock Lesnar version. Because it was legit. I mean, the WrestleMania 19 one was a total botch, but when he actually hit it, it was fire back in OVW.
You will believe a beast incarnate can fly. So it seems like we are going to get this match. And then Kidman ends up leaving the match.
Yeah, it's the old... I walk through the ropes and walk to the back and get counted out. So...
Yeah, it's like the way that commentary just goes about it. Okay, he's a quitter, Cole.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be cut out for this business, Cole. If only they said that when Bailey at Extreme Rules couldn't do a kid.
Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, if you want to cut to there's the backstage segment where that turned into the match at No Mercy. So, with Kidman leaving. So he had to show up at No Mercy or get fired, basically.
Yeah, so that should be an interesting match. But Booker T comes to save the day, the United States champion, comes to save the day. And now we get our real opening match. It's Booker T going up against the most bitter man in pro wrestling, Paul London.
So I didn't get, like, is Booker a face or a heel? Or I don't understand. Because it was a very face move for him to come out and be like, hey, let's fight.
It was weird.
Yeah. But he is playing a heel.
His whole character at this time is so weird.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever quite worked as a heel here.
Yeah. And some backstory, he is in the middle of a best of 5 series with John Cena for the United States.
Best of top 5, if you will.
So Cena, who of course wasn't on the show as well, or live in the show, I should say. But we got an impromptu match with these two. The match was okay. I mean, obviously at first, I think there was a little hiccup because Booker busted London's nose wide open.
Yeah, he did.
With the very first kick.
I mean, imagine it's nothing special, but it's fine. Booker T cheats to win for some reason.
I know, he puts his feet on the ropes. It's definitely not a time that I really remember Booker T because
it's a very forgettable
it's a
heel
very
run. And like
bizarre.
honestly, after No Mercy, he turns face again. So it's really pointless.
Yeah.
Purely because JBL didn't have any challengers, and they had literally nobody.
Yeah. After the Undertaker, there was no one else.
So we get the first of many SmackDown throwbacks. Mick Foley talks about some of his favorite moments on SmackDown, including the Rock and Sock connection and Cactus Jack showing up and taking on Triple H.
So this was actually a very enjoyable part when they showed the so this was a dark match segment that they showed where The Rock lost his sunglasses when he was giving his, finish, not finish of wrestling, but his "if you smell," and he did this little head move, and his glasses slammed on the ground. So Mick went, picked him up, put him back on his head, and The Rock said, "The Rock thanks you for that." It was just a real, natural, genuine moment. This was actually one of the most enjoyable parts of watching this whole show. Was that moment? It was really cool to see because I don't remember that at all, and it was obviously a dark match segment. So
So after that, we got the Kidman and Teddy Long segment, which we already discussed.
Playa.
Then we get Josh Matthews interviewing Spike Dudley and Rey Mysterio. And then Kenzo Suzuki shows up. Remember this guy?
Oh my god. And he's clowning Rey Mysterio for not speaking English. The whole. So I have my notes here, and I just have a big question mark next to this. Oh, it was very bizarre.
Yeah, like it is just very weird. And what if I told you that he and Rene Dupree are the tag team champions?
I wouldn't have believed you if you told me before I watched this show that they were the tag team champions. I would have said you're full of you know what, because I don't remember that reign in any way, shape, or form.
It's a very random tag reign.
Yeah.
So next up, Coach Dance. What do you think about Coach?
Yeah.
What do you think about doing that as a show? Think about going dancing after the show? Is that what you want to do?
This was Rock at his best. Just pure comedy. I mean, I don't know if the comedy goes as well today as it did then, but at the time,
It does not age well. A lot of it does
yeah.
not age well. I will give you that.
But at the time, it was freaking hilarious, and I remember that, and just crying, laughing. So, and good on Coach for being a champ. He took it well. All the abuse.
So next match up is Spike Dudley versus Rey Mysterio. for the Cruiserweight Championship. And this was actually a pretty good match. This was actually a really fun match.
Yeah, no, it was very fun. Pre-show, I was telling Matt that I totally forgot that Spike was the Cruiserweight champ. And, he actually, now that I remember, he held the title well. He was a solid champion. He had his little gimmick, the boss. And, these two put on a really solid...
Who's a better boss, Sasha Banks or Spike Dudley?
That's not even a question. But... Which I believe Spike Dudley is a school teacher now, so he's still a boss. But but anyway, of course, during the match there was interference with the tag team champions that I couldn't remember.
So Kenzo Suzuki and Rene Dupree interfere, attack Rey Mysterio, and then Spike Dudley retains the title, and then Suzuki and Dupree attacks Rey Mysterio, and then RVD makes a save. And that leads to Teddy Long making a match for No Mercy. Rene Dupree and Kenzo Suzuki defend the tag title against RVD and Rey Mysterio. The state of SmackDown's tag division.
Just a sidebar. So Ray's entrance, it was his old entrance music before the Booyaka. And I really liked his old entrance music. I just had to throw that out there. Yeah. I think it's great. I wish he still used it. But I mean, I get what they...
Not a big POD fan?
Huh?
Not a big POD fan?
I'm not. Although I have seen them live. I have seen them live, and they were awesome live. Very, very powerful. But for Mysterio, I liked his old theme.
If POD had a podcast, would it be POD Cast?
Oh my god. I didn't sign up for this. So the other thing I want to mention, part of this, is after this there is a ticket ad for WrestleMania 21.
Yeah, the WrestleMania 21 press conference.
Yes, which I believe sold out in like 9 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. But I bought tickets to that, and I went to that. That was one of the coolest things. That was the Saturday after this show. So 5 days after this, I was on my computer begging, pleading, praying that I would get my tickets, and I did. I was in the rafters, but man, 21 was a great show.
Did you have black and white face paint on by any chance?
I did not.
So we get another SmackDown throwback with Stephanie McMahon talking about slapping Linda and the love triangle with her, Triple H, and Kurt Angle. And we get some revisionist history here because Stephanie says that Kurt is a bad kisser, which is not what she said at SummerSlam 2000.
Yep. Oh my god. I don't even know what to say about that one.
So we get a SmackDown throwback again. Brock Lesnar superplex Big Show breaking the ring, which they have overdone to death, I think.
Yeah, that was the first one though, and
yeah,
it was freaking awesome. I don't know if you watched it live when it first happened.
I didn't watch it live because I didn't get UPN at the time.
Okay.
I don't think I ever got UPN.
Yeah.
But I do remember seeing it a lot on like SmackDown DVDs and
it was so
like
cool.
clip reels and stuff like that.
I mean, I always check the spoilers and everything, but I still watch SmackDown. And when they said the ring broke, I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. But when it happened, I jumped up out of my bed. I was like, oh, that was a great moment. But yeah, it's been done to death now. Just like everything WWE does, that's cool.
So we get the next match, and I swear to God, I thought this next match was the main event. I thought this headlined the show. I could have sworn it had headlined it. This is a match that I really remembered when at the time. It's pure because of who was involved. The next match, Gangrel and Viscera versus The Undertaker.
So you can't beat the entrance of the Brood. The Brood's entrance is just top notch, just because of the music. But
yeah, unfortunately, we don't get the fire entrance here.
Yeah, I know that would suck. But
because SmackDown doesn't have a stage. it's like when you play WrestleMania 2000 on the N64 when you don't compete at Raw or Heat, you just get a regular entrance.
Yeah.
So Viscera and Gangrel, more or less a one night only appearance for them. Previous week they attacked Undertaker following JBL's bidding, which was weird because they don't ever reference that JBL was ever a part of the ministry. I think that's what you're meant to think, that JBL does have these connections because he was once part of the ministry. But commentary never brings it up.
Well, I guess it makes sense they don't, but you are very right.
So the match, it's more or less a squash match.
Yeah. I mean, like Viscera gets a few pumps in, but
yeah, they get some. Well, later on,
gets nothing.
later on, Viscera gets a lot of pumps in. But that's beside the point.
Well, he hit his choke bomb. But and to set the scene, also JBL had come out in his limo, which I loved at the time. I know JBL gets a lot of flack for his title reign, but I loved the limo entrance. I thought it with the horns and it was expert healing. He did the best he absolutely could. And him sitting through the sun visor or the moon roof was awesome through them watching the match.
So Undertaker tombstones Gangrel, beats both of them. After the match, Undertaker attacks Viscera, or Viscera attacks Undertaker first. Then Undertaker pretty much assaults him with a steel chair, sending the chair right into Viscera's throat.
And gives him a nice choke slam for his troubles.
Yeah. And this was more or less a one night only appearance for Gangrel.
Yeah.
This was more or less Viscera's return because he does come back full time shortly after this.
He would eventually become Big Vis or whatever. But
I don't think we see him again until Backlash, which is a ways off. But he does end up coming back again as Viscera.
But yeah, Gangrel was definitely off the full time roster at this time.
Yeah, because he was going to be in the ECW, WWE's version of ECW, but nothing ever came of it. So backstage, Vince McMahon and Heidenreich. Heidenreich making his return on the podcast. We haven't seen him in pretty much a year, really. He hasn't been on the WWE product since No Mercy, I believe. Got repackaged as an evil poet, apparently.
And Michael Cole's stalker.
Yes. Yeah, which happened the previous week. And like reads Vince Capone. And that's pretty much it. And coming up next, my God, why do these two keep crossing paths? Torrie Wilson versus Dawn Marie in a schoolgirl match.
But it doesn't end up being that, does it?
No, like this would have been like the 5th time or so that they had wrestled each other on this podcast. Oh, if only we were so lucky. Because Tay Long comes out. Now, hold on a minute there, player. It's going to be a tag team match. Dawn Marie and Torrie Wilson going to be teaming up to take on Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah.
This match is everything that was wrong with the women's division for about 15, 20 years.
And this match was freaking terrible.
It was really a sad state of affairs, and I was very depressed watching it.
And need I remind everyone that this match did feature Hall of Famer Torrie Wilson.
You know, Torrie has her place. So does Dawn Marie. Dawn Marie actually was great in ECW, the original ECW. But this was, I don't even know how to describe it.
It was bad. It was freaking bad. It's one of those segments where it's so obvious that the only person laughing at this match is Vince.
Yeah. It was ferociously bad. And like I said, it was everything that was wrong with women's wrestling probably before the TNA knockouts that really started changing the game. But for about 10, 15 years, this is what we had. And, oh, my God.
So after that abomination, we get another SmackDown throwback. This time with Stone Cold Steve Austin. With a mustache, so porn mustache Stone Cold Steve Austin. Talking about the trip to Iraq that SmackDown took the previous year.
Yep, the famous Stone Cold is Santa stunning McMahon.
So then we get John Cena rapping on top of the production truck. Talks about his good friend, The Rock. That didn't age well.
No. Well, he pretty much just brought in a bunch of, one-liners from popular superstars at the time. But he wasn't there live, just like Stone Cold and Hulk Hogan. So it was, I don't know, disappointing of a segment. But this was Thugonomics John Cena before he, before he flipped the script at WrestleMania 21. So.
Yeah. Backstage, Kurt Angle says that he's disappointed that he wasn't asked about his favorite SmackDown moments and that he was going to provide a SmackDown moment right here tonight. And then our final SmackDown throwback of the night, Hulk Hogan talks about the 4th of July SmackDown where he won the tag team titles with Edge.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, nothing with Hogan ages well anymore, so. Especially anything patriotic. But I'm sure for Edge, that was a thrill. And it was cool watching it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then it's time for the main event. It's Luther Reigns, main eventing SmackDown.
Good Lord.
It's Luther Reigns and Kurt Angle going up against the Big Show and Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie with his lowrider coming out. That was cool.
So this match, it's okay. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not great.
It was a solid match. I mean, if I don't care who the other two are, if you have Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle in there, it's going to be a solid match. I don't care who else is involved. So it could be Big Show or Luther Reigns, which just happened to be.
So the match is going. Eddie Guerrero actually hits a frog splash off of Big Show.
Yeah, off his shoulders.
And then who breaks up the pin and causes a DQ? But Mark Jindrak of all people.
I know. I wish I could post a screenshot here. When I was jotting notes watching this, I just put Jindrak LOL. That's all I could muster.
How shoehorn in is he?
I don't know.
He did not need to be there at all.
Not at all.
Because he was just so lost on SmackDown at that point in time because he had a very brief run as a narcissist ripoff with Teddy Long as his manager, if I recall correctly.
I think you're right. I know the narcissist. I don't remember the manager, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I think he was with Teddy Long for a very brief time.
Was that after Long was with Rodney Mack, or?
Yeah, it was right after Teddy Long got drafted to SmackDown.
Okay.
And then Teddy Long got promoted to SmackDown GM, and I guess Jindrak was with Angle and Luther Reigns now to form this really weird stable.
Yeah. I don't remember it at all.
So Kurt Angle. Go on.
It had nothing to do with the title. It was really weird. There was really no rhyme or reason, but anyway.
So Kurt Angle ends up getting a tranquilizer dart from underneath the table. And then shoots Big Show in the back and shaves his head.
Yeah, I think that was the last time we saw Big Show with hair.
I don't think it was the last time.
Oh no!
I think he does grow it a bit of it back in 05, 06. But when he did return in 2008, he's now fully bald for the rest of his career.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I do remember the "Somebody Got a Haircut" The Rock. Or was that Chris Jericho? I can't remember now.
It was The Rock.
It was The Rock, yeah. Oh no, Chris Jericho was the Stephanie's Bazoombas. But anyway, that's a different. That's the Attitude Era.
So this is pretty much Kurt Angle's revenge for Big Show choking him off the balcony.
Yeah. I don't know.
And apparently they had gotten the idea because Big Show realized that his hair was thinning at that point, and when you see them shaving it, you can tell. And apparently they got the idea from I think a gorilla that someone shot with a tranquilizer dart. So I think that's where they got the idea from.
Yeah.
So So it was an interesting way to end SmackDown, and it did provide some much needed heat between Angle and Big Show as they make their way towards No Mercy for their match.
It definitely needed some heat, but
so that was SmackDown's 5th anniversary. What did you think about the show?
It happened. I mean, I think it was par for the course for SmackDown at the time. I don't think it was anything special. I think it just was another episode. One thing watching it that I had forgotten about was the piped-in cheers and boos. I don't miss that at all with the live programming now. That really bothers me.
Yeah, I mean, it was there. Like I said, it didn't feel like any kind of anniversary show or any kind of special show.
No, it didn't.
Kind of a show that happened to be. With that said, this show was a bit better than I was expecting. I was expecting far worse because
the wrestling was perfectly
not
fine.
That good at the time.
Yeah, I mean, Booker T and Paul London, decent. You get to see the Undertaker in the ring. He was flying around the ring. He was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, you get Eddie and Angle in the ring, it's going to be magic. So, so it was serviceable. It like you said, it didn't feel like a super special. And if I had been in the arena, you wouldn't even know probably that it was the 5th anniversary. It would just have been another taping, because all the 5th anniversary stuff was backstage or pre-taped.
Yeah, because aside from the Divas match, there really wasn't anything awful on the show, but there wasn't really too much of it that was good either.
No, but
it was just kind of a show that just kind of happened.
The Divas was really depressing. It really put into perspective what we have now. Even if we complain and if we, there's still a lot to be desired right now, but my God.
At least we have Becky Lynch as the undisputed champion of the world. At least we have the Iconics as the iconic tag team champions. That ended an undefeated streak. Can Asuka and Kairi Sane say that? No, I don't think so. But anyway.
Now, if only they would go back to the real entrance theme, they would just be so much better. With sultry.
Femme Fatale is the way to go, my friend.
And I really don't understand. There's been a lot of complaining and nagging about the Iconics as tag team champions.
There really has.
What?
And it doesn't make any sense to me.
So my cousin's a big fan too. We watched WrestleMania. We both jumped out of our freaking chair and we're screaming, hollering. The stadium was going crazy. People want the Iconics.
They're over.
I don't care what anyone else says. People want the Iconics. So they're your champions. I don't understand the hate.
Same here. I really do not understand it. But that's a story for another Violent Wrestling podcast. So I think that's just about does it for this episode of Ruthless Aggression Error podcast. Where can they find you, Angel?
Y'all can find me on Cage Side Seats in the daily and the nightly. I'm OneWingedAngel. Also, you can find me on Twitter, The Bird Machine, at Angel Seth. That's Angel SEPH 16.
And you can find me on Twitter at Mailmat15, hanging on the Cage Side Seats, hanging in the daily and the nightly. And next week, most likely next Thursday, since I work next Friday, next Thursday, we are going to be taking a look at No Mercy 2004. I don't know how good I remember that show being. I don't remember that show being great.
I don't either.
Last ride match with Undertaker and JBL.
Last ride, yeah.
Booker and Cena in the final match of the Best of 5 series. Can't remember too much else from that show. So that kind of shows everything you need to know right there, doesn't it?
Yeah. What victim do you have joining you for next time?
I have no idea. I don't know who. Can I just go? I just want to skip that and go to Taboo Tuesday. I'd much rather watch that show than No Mercy.
There is no mercy for you.
Yeah. So next Thursday, No Mercy 2004 on Ruthless Aggression Era Podcast. So thank you all for listening, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you.